there you have a single rail Borg Warner 4-speed transmission, complete with 11-inch clutch and freshly machined flywheel. Hello and welcome to episode 00 of my new project, which is still not being revealed because I still don't own the car yet. Now, I actually filmed a video in anticipation of my new project arriving today, which is Sunday the 19th of January, but things fell flat on their face when my Triton decided to start overheating on the way home from our family holiday, which ended yesterday. So the Triton came home just barely avoiding tossing its cookies from overheating, and I thought to myself, probably shouldn't drive out in the middle of nowhere with this car with a car trailer and then tow the car, new project car, back on this car trailer while my Triton's trying to cook itself. So this morning I did some preliminary testing once the car's radiator was filled back up again, and it did 50 k's with no drama. So I thought, what I'll do is I'll go and pick up that single rail gearbox conversion kit that I found on Facebook Marketplace last weekend and see if the car makes it to Toowoomba and back. And I got within 3 k's of the seller's house and the check engine light came on and the car got very upset, so I stopped and then I waited and then I resumed my mission to get to the seller of the single rail gearbox, and then I got there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday after what was about a 2-hour ordeal driving my car very, very carefully up the Toowoomba range. So this episode is going to be about my parts acquisition, which is the single rail gearbox, the 11-inch heavy duty clutch kit and flywheel to suit, pilot bearing, hard line, all those goodies, because the next project is going to be a manual project, because obviously I'm a touring car guy and I like touring car stuff and I like manual gearboxes and the ability to shift my own gears. Doesn't matter how big the motor is, I would prefer it to be a manual. So the new project, which I'm not going to talk about what it is until I actually own it, will have a manual gearbox in it, and I bought the single rail because the price was right and it uses the same tail shaft and the same infrastructure as the C4, so I'm just going to go with that as the easiest turnkey solution to put a manual gearbox in my next project. So now let's go to the footage I filmed today trying to get my broken down tow pig up to Toowoomba and back. Alright, hello and welcome to what I can only call a project update for the next project. Now, I was supposed to be picking my project up today, but my trusty Triton has decided that it's going to overheat. Now, the sensible thing to do would be to leave the car at home until I've figured out why it's overheating, but I've discovered there is a single rail gearbox conversion for sale in Toowoomba, and that's where I am right now with my Triton boiling its head off. Actually, it's not boiling its head off, it's around 95 degrees, so it's hotter than usual, but it's not at the point where the warning lights are on the dash and it's telling me to turn the car off. So I'm just driving my Triton with the engine pushing coolant out of the overflow bottle like it's going out of fashion, and it's not telling me to stop. So I'm within about 3 k's of my destination right now to get this single rail gearbox conversion kit, so I'm just going to tough it out and hope that the Triton makes it. And once I get there, hopefully I can let the Triton cool down before I make my way all the way home again. I've managed to do 120 kilometres and it started to overheat at around the 50 kilometre mark, and I've been running the heater flat out on 4 with the air conditioning turned off and windows down since then. So it's been a pretty hot journey so far, but the Triton is still plugging away. I bought my temperature thermometer tester to make sure that everything's behaving itself, and when I got to the top of Toowoomba range I tested the temperature and it said 94 degrees, so I'm just going to soldier on. As I said, I'm almost there, and once I get there I'll give the car a rest. So here I am in Toowoomba, topping up the coolant in the McDonald's car park in my Triton, after I got a check engine light for driving all the way up here, heating the car. And hopefully, now that I have my single rail gearbox secured, I can drive home until the car runs out of coolant again, and then I will be on the side of the road waiting to let the car cool down, and then I'll do this all over again. Triton's pushing coolant because I think it's broken, and I'm not about to spend any money on it just yet. Not with a new project that I can play with instead. That and the wagon should hopefully get registered in the next couple of weeks, and then I can condemn this car. The coolant with the motor. Come and check out what I've scored. There you have a single rail Borg Warner 4-speed transmission, complete with 11-inch clutch and freshly machined flywheel, and the hard line and the soft line, shift boot, and the car. Inside the car there is the pilot bearing and the throwout arm to go with this gearbox. Now, the guy reckons it was rebuilt 3,000 k's ago by a local Toowoomba guy, and it's done very little action since then, and his daughter wanted an automatic ute, so he pulled this box out of it and put it up for sale. So the goal of this adventure is to get this gearbox, and damn, there's a lot of flies out here. Anyway, back to seeing if I can get my car home. Made it out of Toowoomba, and I'm back on the Toowoomba range heading home. The car, so far so good. Don't expect it to start overheating again probably until I get to about Gatton. Then I'll have to nurse it all the way home from there. Make sure I don't go over 60 on the Toowoomba range. I'm going to keep it in a high gear and ride the brakes like you're not supposed to, because the less I'm on the throttle, the less heat the engine generates. So the check engine light is on because it's already overheated once, but so far so good. It's managing to stay cool, but I would say when that odometer gets to 180 kilometers, it will start to play up again. Needless to say, it's on full heat, and I have all the windows down. home safe and sound. Check engine light is on, obviously, because it's overheated at one stage, and it's just slightly hotter than normal from the drive home, probably because it's been raining. So excellent, we made it back. So summary time for episode 00. I have successfully acquired the single rail Borg Warner gearbox with a bell housing to suit a 351 Cleveland and all the other bits and bobs that go with it. I am going to need to buy a clutch master cylinder and a clutch slave cylinder. Those are kind of consumables you want to buy new anyway, and the rest of it should be honky-dory. So hopefully if things go well, I'll be able to drop the episode I recorded last weekend next weekend, and next weekend I go pick my new project up. The seller of the project car has graciously gone, next weekend's fine, you know, whenever you're ready. And hopefully I find an alternative towing solution to my broken Triton, which I might add got me all the way there and all the way back and only overheated at the end of both trips. So it got me all the way home in the rain, which probably helped quite a bit, and then only started to overheat when I got into, I think it was Rockley. So it got me home, and that's good.